Hi everyone. I'm sorry I didn't do a February update. For some reason I totally forgot to do one. Life just for some reason got so busy, so I didn't get a chance to do one. So I'm doing one today because I wanted to do one for March, just because I missed February. My goal for this year that I put on my blog was to get at least 4 pieces done. The first piece was the LSU that I'm doing for my friend's son. The second one was the Chicago Bulls pattern, also for my friend's son. The third one was to finish my Martino Brothers logo work in progress, because I just have a little bit left to do on that one, so I wanted to finish that one. And to finish also my work in progress called Praying Without Ceasing. It's started and I wanted to get it done, so I wanted to finish at least 4 for this year. Don't know if that's going to happen, but then knowing me, I had to come up with another one to add into the rotation. I finished the butterfly reflection and I just need to get that one framed, so I'm just waiting to take that one to the framers. I have a wall that goes from my main floor upstairs to our second floor. That's where I wanted to put the butterfly reflection, but I also wanted to do to have at least 4 fairies, and I chose, of course, Joan Elliott. She's got the water goddess, the fire, water, earth, air, and fire. So the first one that I wanted to do was the fire, so that I could put them on my wall, but I'm waiting for the fabric for that one. I've ordered it. It's going to take at least a couple weeks probably to come in. So I'm trying to do it on 18 count, so I'm going to try and do 1, but eventually I'd like to have all 4 on the wall, 2 on one side, 2 in the other, and then my butterfly reflection in the middle. So let's get started here. My LSU one is coming along okay. It's been driving me up the wall. This area here for some reason has a lot of confetti stitches and it's been driving me crazy, but it's coming along great. But I was in bed last night and I was thinking that my husband is going to be the sponsor for my friend's son in May, and we're in March, so I have March, April, and just half of May, so I have 2.5 months left to finish this. So I'm hoping that if I race through it within the next month, within March at least, that I'll hopefully get it done. But if I can get past this area right here, I should be good, because it's driving me crazy. I hate confetti stitches. I'm sure all stitchers don't like them. They're a pain in the you-know-what, but they make the pattern. What are you going to do? So the second one that I said that I was going to do was the Chicago Bulls. So this is the pattern. It's not very big. It's 8 by 10. So I'm hoping that it'll come out good. This is for my friends. Since I'm doing this one for one son, she has 2 sons, I didn't want to feel like the other son would have been left out. So that's the pattern that I've gonna stitch up. And then my third one that I was gonna finish for this year, hopefully, is my husband used to work for a car wash, and his friend owns a car wash company, and my husband used to work, and they're still friends and stuff. And I had a challenge. My husband goes, "Oh, I wonder if you could cross-stitch their logo." I said, "Well, I can cross-stitch anything." So I took the logo and I put in one of those free websites, and this is the pattern here, and I'm almost done. It ends here, so I just need this section right here. Just need this piece right here. So I'm hoping to get that done once those ones are done. So hopefully by the end of this year I will have those 2 done and this one, but probably not. And then the other one that I'm doing for this year is, or that I want to finish for this year, is this one, which I started, and I love this pattern. I think it's so cute, and it's called Praying Without Ceasing. I actually did start it maybe about a year ago, and for some reason, you know me, well, if anybody knows me, I put it aside and started something else. But I've got this much done. So this is the pattern. So I basically have, I think, the top of the head and the face. Still need the middle of the head, this whole part, and then it comes out this way. So I'm hoping to finish this one this year. We'll see. Who knows? And then just because I don't have enough to do, my friend said that her church holds Christmas, well, not Christmas, but throughout the year they have bake sales and craft sales and stuff. And I have been dying to get a table at a craft sale somewhere. I want to be able to sell my cross stitch. I just don't want to, you know, I love doing it, and I love doing it as gifts, and I love keeping it. But I'd like to make a little living off it, you know. So what I decided to do was, I'm doing a whole bunch of Christmas ones. I chose this pattern here. There's, of course, the 26 letters, A, B, C, D, all the way up to Z. And I usually have an hour lunch at work. So what I'm doing at work during my lunch is I'll eat my lunch really, really quick. And then I'll do some stitching for about a half hour. And I finished the letter A. And I've started the letter B. So there's the letter B. I'm hoping to do all the letters, and what I'd like to do is make a little pillow out of them with a ribbon here so that it can be hung. I want to do some Christmas ones. I want to do some Halloween ones. I want to have a whole mixture. But it's kind of hard with stitching everything just by myself. I actually had a friend who cross stitches, and she was nice enough to say, you know what, give me some and I'll help you because they're small and I can do it during my lunchtime, and it gives me something to do during my lunchtime too. So she's offered to help me, so that's great. Nice to have cross-stitching friends. The other thing that I wanted to show you was also during lunch. As I said, I have an hour, so usually half hour spent stitching. I had this pattern lying around, and I love this pattern. There's actually 4. There's this one, and there's this one, and there's 2 more. And I started stitching this one, and I finished it last week. I was also just stitching it during lunch. So this is the pattern. So I just gotta get the creases out, which hopefully I can. Actually, I have something that I framed, and for some reason Ada, when it creases, is really hard to get that line out. I've actually seen a video where a gentleman does his framing and he uses alcohol. He said he sprays it with a little bit of alcohol and then he stretches it, and it seems to work for him. He said it doesn't bleed the colors. I don't know how true that is. I have to try that. I'm going to try it with this one actually. I'm going to try and get this one framed. I just have to measure it to see what size frame I need. Because I did one for my friend at work, my co-worker, who had a baby who's now almost 2 years old. And I cross-stitched the Arabic alphabet for her. And I had the hardest time finding a frame. I did find a frame, but what happens with frames is by the time you put your fabric on the foam board and then try to put it in the frame, it's too thick. You can't get the backing on it. And actually what I came up with, I'll show you here. So this is the one that I did for my friend at work. It's the Arabic alphabet, and I'm kind of happy with it, and I'm kind of not, because you can see there's creases on it. I tried to stretch it as much as I could. If you'll see on the back, I did lace it, but this is what I'm talking about. By the time you put the cross stitch on the foam board, the frame part here is not deep enough. What I actually had to do after watching some videos on YouTube was purchase a machine that puts these things in, so that way it could keep it inside. And this is the machine that I bought here. It's called a dual point driver, and it comes with those staples, and it just staples those things in. So now that I've stapled it, what I'm thinking that I'm going to do is just put some tape all the way around here and put some of that brown craft paper. I think I have some here. This one, take this and put it on the back, and then just put some put those hangy thingies here with the wire so that she can hang it. So it's almost finished. I don't know whether or not I'm going to take this out again and try to get these lines out, try that alcohol thing and see if that will work. I don't know what else to do. I tried to stretch it as much as I could. I ironed it didn't look like the lines were there before, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm kind of happy with it, and I'm kind of not, just because I'm really picky. The other thing I was thinking about is if I'll ask my friend if she wants to get it professionally framed. I don't know if they might do a better job than I would. Maybe they will. So I don't know. I'll have to think about this one and show my friend, see what she decides. The other thing is, Craigslist hasn't had very many cross-stitch hauls, or road trips, I like to call them. Last week we went to check the Value Villages because I hadn't been there in a while, and one of the Value Villages had some magazines. So I managed to pick up a whole bunch of these. This one's Portuguese, and there was a couple of these. This one is Spanish. So what I did through most of the magazines, I'm keeping these two, but what I did through most of them is I just went in and took out the patterns that I liked and just put them in plastic sleeves like this, and I'll just make a binder with them, just because I have a lot of magazines, but at the same time I don't want to take out all my patterns from the magazines. I like to read the magazines. I know I'm weird that way. I know a lot of people just take the magazine, take out what they want, and then throw out the rest. But I do like the stories, and there are stories in there, and there are, you know, articles in there, and I like that part of it yet. I haven't gotten to the point where, oh, I have too many magazines, well, kinda, but I don't really want to do that, because I really like reading the stories, and I like looking at the magazines, and I like looking back to, let's say, 1991 or 1989 and seeing what people were doing back then, and I feel that if you tear your magazines apart, you're not going to see that. The other thing that I wanted to show you was the Joan Elliott one, the Fire Goddess. This is the one. So I've chosen this one to start, and I can't wait to get the fabric. I ordered a fabric from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. It's called Gingerbread. It's 18 count, so the fabric is this kind of yellow. So I'm hoping that it's going to work. It's 18 count. That's the lowest I will go. I'm sorry, I'm not doing 32 count. My eyes, I just can't. 18 count is the lowest, and Aida is what I prefer. I have a lot of linen, I have a lot of even weave, and I collect fabric for some reason, and I haven't stitched on it at all, actually. Maybe I will one day, and I have to practice, and I'm sure I will love it once I get used to it, but right now my fabric of choice is Aida, and if it works for me, that's what I'm going to stick to. I don't think there's anything else. I think that's it for March. So again, I'm sorry that I'm so late, and hopefully I will be able to do this update once a month. Just wanted to say thanks for watching, and please subscribe, and happy stitching. Bye.